I grew up in a family of readers. From childhood, books were extremely important. One of my sisters-in-law told my husband when we were married, "You haven't joined the Thatcher family, you've joined the Thatcher debating society," because we like to argue, particularly argue politics. We've always been a family very, very interested in ideas.
She seemed like a normal person until I got to know her better.
You know, this is the 1950s. Girls aren't supposed to be smart, you know, they're supposed to be really cute and fun, but not necessarily intellectual. My undergraduate degree was in English. I had a minor in journalism.
She was the top woman in the class and he was the top man in the class.
I did very well at the university and graduated with high honors, and yet it didn't ever occur to me that I would go to graduate school. My life was really shaped by my husband's graduate work, and I'm very, very grateful that he brought us to Boston.
Our first child was born a month within our arrival in Boston. So here she is with a new baby, and she's spending all of her spare time reading. And she's reading, she's studying. She eventually wrote a book in collaboration with people at the church on a very successful guidebook to Boston.
It had been reviewed in the Boston Globe and had sold out, and we had to republish and then revise and publish again, and it was very empowering.
In 1970, we went to the University of New Hampshire.
I decided to just take a course at the university, and I was really, really smitten. I ended up taking another course and then another, and then did what seemed to me a very crazy thing, which was to apply and be admitted to a PhD program in early American history.
She went to the library in Maine and found this diary of a midwife in the 1700s. She came back, and I remember her saying, "Gail, I've found my good wife."
A Midwife's Tale was my second book.
Based on a diary, a 27-year diary of a woman who was a midwife and healer who went to Maine during the American Revolution.
It was published in 1990. I worked on it for about 8 years, and it won the 1991 Pulitzer Prize in History.
The book won basically every accolade a historical book can win.
And Laurel's going to be the first to tell you that she just happened to be, she says, in the right place at the right time.
You can't find someone more modest than Laurel.
I'm sure I'll never do anything that will touch people in the same way.
I criticize her work, and she falls apart, but she spends a month revising. She criticizes my work, and I ignore it. And she said, "Yeah, that's the reason I got the Pulitzer and you didn't."
To be able to claim a place in the world and a kind of memory is to liberate a person. To say, I have a history, I was here on this earth, I did something, I lived, I contributed, is a very, very powerful thing.
I think that there's an image of the feminist historian as some firebrand, bra-burning, radical, in-your-face type. And Laurel is a profoundly thoughtful and original feminist historian.
Well-behaved women seldom make history.
I didn't hear about it until it appeared on bumper stickers. It was part of an academic article she had written.
A young woman in Portland, Oregon found it in her roommate's copy of the Book of Quotations, and she emailed me and said, "Could I put this on t-shirts?" And I thought that was hilarious. I didn't plan my life.
She's just somebody who follows her nose and is passionate and bright and asks questions nobody else is asking.
Even if you can't do what you want to do, you can have a great life. It's really not so much where you are as what you bring and what you're willing to put in that makes the difference.